What's going on, everyone? I'm back with another episode. Here I am, back in my kitchen. So I got a good one for you guys. As you know, Valentine's Day is around the corner, so I got a special recipe for you. Now, what is more romantic than strawberries and chocolate? Strawberry chocolate cake. I am so ready to make this, and I hope you guys are too. So grab a pen and a paper. You already know what's up. I'm gonna go ahead and go over this step by step on how to make this cake. It's gonna be 2 layers, so it'll be a little bit more challenging, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna include all of the chocolate that you can possibly consume in one sitting. Make sure you don't pass out from that chocolate overdose. And it's gonna have a lot of strawberries, so it's gonna be delicious. Make sure that you are prepared to not eat all of this chocolate because there will be a lot. Temptation is going to strike. Whoosh. Anyways, let's go ahead and preheat the oven to 350 degrees and let's get baking, man. Let's do this.
All right, and to begin, we're gonna go ahead and put in our 2 cups of granulated sugar into a bowl. Make sure that you have a deep enough bowl because we're gonna add all of the dry ingredients for the cake into the single bowl here. Go ahead and add some flour. Whoops. 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour is going into that bowl. Next, we're gonna go ahead and add 3/4 cup of unsweetened cocoa. Hershey's cocoa powder? I always have trouble pronouncing this word. Cocoa powder. You know what I mean. Yum. All right, next, after the cocoa powder, we need 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda, and that's gonna help our cake rise. Rise, rise. It's alive! Next, we need to add 1 teaspoon of salt. So at this point, we are pretty much done with the small bowl. So we're going to go ahead and transfer the dry ingredients into a large bowl so we can go ahead and mix the dry ingredients with the wet ingredients. One thing I forget to mention is we do have to have a pot with boiling water ready because we're going to need that 1 cup of boiling water for this batter. So in go the 2 eggs, and we're going to go ahead and look for a really sandy consistency. And once you see the eggs incorporate into the dry batter, we are going to go ahead and add the next ingredient, which is 1 cup of milk. Now I like to use almond milk, but the recipe actually calls for 1 cup of whole milk. Next, we'll be adding 1/2 cup of vegetable oil into the batter. All right, so at this point, your water should be boiling. Now we're gonna need 1 cup of boiling water to add into this batter. Make sure that if you have a stand mixer that it is running while you're pouring in the hot water because you do not want scrambled eggs. Now, if you do not have a stand mixer and you're using a whisk, for example, I'd suggest having a partner, someone around you, help you while you're whisking away and having them pour the water into the batter slowly. Another thing is you do not want to handle this water without gloves. Please wear some type of protection. I do not want you to burn yourselves. Don't you love that chocolate facial? Come on, it smells so good. All right, so at this point, the batter is pretty much done. Now it will look like it's not done just because it's a little wet, but that's what we're looking for. Now, Make sure that you do have your 9 by 9 inch pan, circle pans ready for you. What I like to do is actually get some butter, melt it a little bit, and layer a small little layer around the whole pan, and then put some flour, as you can see right here. This will prevent your batter from sticking while it bakes inside of the oven. The next thing that I like to do is actually pour the batter directly into the pans. I don't measure it. I am just comfortable doing it by eye, but I'd suggest measuring it out if you are not comfortable doing it this way. All right, look at that. That looks delicious. So your cake batter is pretty much done. Let's give it a little tap to get any of those trapped air bubbles out and cue the bake cam. While your cake is baking in the oven, let's go ahead and start with the garnish. So I bought 2 packs of strawberries from my local Target. So you can see I was struggling to open these things. So I roughly chopped 1 pack so I can throw it on top of the frosting. And then for the second pack, I just cut off the tops so they sit flat on top of the cake. You'll see once I assemble it all together how it comes out. Delicious, of course. Okay, and you will know your cakes are done once you insert a toothpick down the middle and it comes out clean. Look at that. They smell so good. I wish you guys can smell these in my kitchen. What am I talking about? You're gonna have them in your own kitchen, right? Heck yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and take these out of the pans and throw them onto the cooling rack so we can work with a really cool surface. Now, the tricky thing about butter is you do have to have it at room temperature or else you're just going to be messing with bricks of gold, man. So what I like to do is actually microwave it for like 5-second intervals until it's soft to the touch and it almost bounces back. That's only if you want to cheat. I do leave my butter out before I bake just because I love the consistency of room temperature butter. Now, in the mixer, what I'm going to do is actually mix the butter by itself until it's almost fluffy. And then next, what we're going to do is actually add our 2 teaspoons of vanilla. After our 2 teaspoons of vanilla, we're going to go ahead and start incorporating the powdered sugar in here. Now, as you guys remember, I did say last time, don't pour all of your granulated sugar in all at once because you will be in a dust cloud. Granted, it'll taste good, but you'll be coughing for days. I've had to learn the hard way. Make sure that you do stop the mixer here and there so you can go ahead and scrape the sides. How you doing? Next, what you want to do is get 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips and you want to melt them down. So what I did was microwave them in 5-second intervals and then whisked it with a fork. Next, what you want to do after you get this really nice and thick, you want to go ahead and throw it into your dry mix for the frosting. As you can see here, it's going to start fluffing up. Guys, if you can smell my kitchen right about now, oh my gosh, I can't even speak. That's how good it smells. Y'all, this smells so dang delicious. All right, so you want to mix for about 2 to 3 minutes until you see the butter start fluffing up. That's when you know that your frosting is ready. Next, for your ganache, this is pretty similar to the previous step. So we're going to need 3/4 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips and 3/4 cup of heavy cream. I microwaved my heavy cream in 10-second intervals till it was almost at a boiling point. And as you can see here, I threw my chocolate chips into this bowl once again, and the heavy cream as well, and just whisked it with a fork until you get a nice chocolate velvety looking ganache. Guys, I'm telling you, this cake is delicious. Feel free to dip a strawberry in this. Oh man, it tastes so good. Almost at the finish line. So what we're gonna do is add a little bit of frosting for your lower tier. This prevents your cake from sliding around, moving around, and just dancing around you while you're decorating it. So we're gonna get some of that beautiful frosting that we made earlier and top it off. Now, what I did was actually use a flat spatula just because I do not have any bakeware. Yeah, I'm broke, but I'm trying, guys. Anyways, make an even layer on this bottom tier. Okay, once we're done frosting our bottom tier, let's grab the roughly chopped strawberries and start topping it off. This is a fun process, isn't it? Next, grab your ganache and pour it all over your cake. Just like that, you are done. Enjoy your strawberry chocolate cake.